Hello my amazing community. Today we're going to deep dive into something that's incredibly close to my heart, the Tall Elephant's Journal. I'm here to tell you why a journal is more than just a book of plain pages and how it can be your confidant for reflection and growth. You see, a planner helps you to manage your time and tasks efficiently, but a journal, oh, it's so much more. It's your personal space to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your soul. That's why the Tall Elephant Journal isn't just a book, it's a celebration of you for 365 days. Here are 4 things to begin with in which a journal and a planner are different. 1. A planner is all about managing your schedule, while a journal is about managing your thoughts and emotions. 2. In a planner, you jot down your to-dos and appointments, but in a journal, you pour your heart out, dream and reflect. And 3. While a planner helps you to manage your external world, a journal helps you navigate your internal world, supporting your emotional wellness. And 4, the most important of it all, your journal is your space, no judgments, no rules, just you and your thoughts. It's not your task list. Remember, the Tall Elephant's Journal is more than just a collection of pages. It's your partner for reflection and growth. And hey, I will train you and journal with you in the community once you get your hands on this beautiful journal. Every page of this is an opportunity to explore your feelings, express your dreams and find clarity. It's a journey of self-discovery and emotional wellness. So whether you're new to journaling or a seasoned writer, this journal is just made for you. It's your place to celebrate every facet of you. Join me as we embark on this incredible journey of self-expression, reflection and growth. Let's explore the Tall Elephant Journal together in a moment. Take a look. Here's your Tall Elephant's Journal, the masterpiece of the little black box. If you haven't watched the video on the limited edition little black box, I'll link it up in the eye and in the description box below for you. This journal is your home, your confidant, and it's here to help you unveil your story of becoming the person that you're meant to be. This year, I've chosen the theme of gateways and pathways because I believe that each month you will find hope and new directions through these pathways. And check out this incredible scratch resistant cover. It's a tactile experience, and when you run your fingers over it, you will feel like you can reach out and touch the beautiful door in the lavender meadow. The entire design is breathtaking, and I must give credit to our talented digital illustrators who brought these creations into life. So pick your journal now, and I will see you in the journaling masterclass and in the community as well. Can't wait to catch up with you and build this habit of journaling together. The link to purchase is here and in the description box as well. And here's a little something special from me to welcome you to the Tall Elephant community and to bring you home. Use the discount coupon that is showing up here for the best discount of the season as we welcome you into the Tall Elephant community. See you in the masterclass. Go quickly and pick up now. As you open the Tall Elephant's Journal for the 2024 edition, you're greeted by this warm, nice pastel page, and then when you move around, the very first activity that you will actually do is writing a letter to yourself and penning down all the sweet things that you have to talk to yourself about and make that very personal and keep it for yourself. Do not forget to put your signature down here. And then this is an illustration that we put together to bring in the butterflies from the 2023's journal. So those of you who have used the 2023 journal, your butterflies bring you to your new home, which is the 2024 journal, and leave you here. And this space is for you to fill up all your personal details. And as you go forward, as we always do, here's your letter from the universe, and I hope you make this as your message for the entire 2024. Here is your space to redefine who you are. Imagine you did not have a name for yourself. How would you identify yourself as? So you put your picture here and then fill in the blanks maybe, saying who are you as a person? I am. And how would you define yourself? Put that all across, and I would love to see what you have to say about it. And here is my next favorite page, which is for you to probably go back inwards and ask yourself, what is it that you love about yourself? We are very, very good in talking about things that we love about others. But here are 51 different prompts for you to think about and probably fill up, saying 51 things that you love about yourself. A pretty small number, I'm sure. And then this is your space to reflect about everything that's happened in the year 2023. Before you jump in and set goals for 2024, take a moment to reflect about how did 2023 go for you. And here is your space to again think about everything which will come up as important dates for you in the year of 2024. This is how we start every new month and everything new in the journal of 2024. So we start with the same gateways and pathways, and I hope you'll enjoy taking a look at it every moment and every time that you flip a page. Here is your vision board. Usually whenever I see people writing in their vision board, I've always seen them talk about just their personal life or professional life. But here's the thing, unless you do not connect it to yourself, which is your core foundation, maybe that vision would usually not come into true sense at all, and that dream would just remain a dream and not become a reality. If you don't know how to fill this up, don't worry about it at all. Whenever that I meet you during the master classes, we will definitely deep dive and create the vision board for 2024. And here is your level 10 goals, the 10 areas that we as human beings need to conquer to feel contentment and to feel the bliss of life. And make sure that you create goals in each of these categories and make sure that they're all SMART goals. And then the next spread is again another favorite of mine, is the bucket list. Usually when we think about bucket lists, people tend to only write about places that they would want to visit. But hey, there could also be buckets that you want to fill up in terms of places to be, events that you want to attend, things that you want to learn, people that you want to meet, experiences that you want to have, the tastes that you want to acquire, things that you want to do, things that you also want to probably give away, and the fears that you want to overcome. So I hope you will fill this up and create a grand list for yourself. This is for all those of you who are bitten by the travel bug. Create your travel vision for 2024. And then we created a new spread based on our community's input, saying that they wanted to have a spread to plan their birthday or to create a memoir of their 2024 year's birthday. So this is your space for you to look at in 2024. How do you want to celebrate your birthday as a vision, or how did you celebrate your birthday? Make sure that you use the space for that. And here is what is very true to the Tall Elephant's essence, where we talk about not just setting goals, but we also go ahead and create plans for it. For example, in terms of your skills that you want to build in the year of 2024, things that you want to learn, things you want to unlearn, things you also want to relearn maybe. Write what is the skill that you're looking to build, when is it that you want to build this, where can you actually learn about it, and what is your plan of action, at least the first 2 steps that you want to take. This is going to take you one step further than just being a dream. It starts becoming a part of your reality, you see. And then I've given you a spread for you to maintain your record of medicines. As you know, this spread is created by doctors within our own community, saying what should you really be tracking and keeping track of if at all you're taking medications. This could be SOS medications, this could be things that your doctors have prescribed for you, including not just medicines. It also has a spread for your vaccination of 2024. Now, this spread is everything to do with how would you recollect 2024 once the year is gone. This could be words that define every particular month. You can probably put in a word here. It could also be a picture to define one thing that happened in this month that you don't want to ever forget. This could be a quote, this could be an experience, this could be a word. Make it your choice of how would you want to remember that particular month as. One tiny little thing to define that entire month. And then here is your spread, which is again my most favorite, which is to do with your library. All the books that you would read in 2024, make sure that you write the names of them here, and also make sure that you give it the star rating, saying do you want to even pick it up later, how did you feel reading the book. Probably just rate it so you know what you had to say about that particular book. This is the book library. And this is your spread for you to remember your passwords for various different websites. How many times do we tend to forget it? And here's a way that you can probably encrypt that same message, because many a times we might also feel like, I don't know if I want my password written in a certain space. So like I told you last year, I'm telling this to you again, which is a top secret that I really like the way that I maintain passwords in my journal, is instead of writing probably an alphabet in a certain way, probably when, let's say my password is Tony, instead of writing O, I would probably make it as as a symbol. So every time there is a symbol written here, I know it's which is written here, but it actually converts to becoming an alphabet. Make sense? So try encrypting it if in case you're scared of probably writing it down, but write it so that you don't forget. This is your spread to track all the movies that you would watch in 2024, things that live wire you. Make a note of it and keep track of it here. And I know we don't stop with movies. Today is a time of Netflixing and a lot of OTTs. Here is your space for you to track all those wonderful documentaries that you watched, series that you watched in 2024. Track it down and write your own review for it. How cool is that? Then this is your space for you to go back and think about all the amazing people who've influenced your life. Whenever you come back into the spread, I hope it becomes like a wall of memory, a wall of important people that you really love and you want to celebrate in your life. Those days that you feel a little lonely, remember to come into this page, because these are people who are rooting for you. And this is a new spread that I put in, and I absolutely don't know how did I miss it in the 2023 collection. But yeah, I think it made its way in the 2024 collection. The walls that you want to break and the boundaries that you want to build for your emotional wellness. This is your space to reflect and to create those walls and to also think about the boundaries that you want to hold. And here is that space for you to track and put down everything related to your resources, things that brought in value to your life in 2024, things that add meaning in the most profound way. These could be your happy moments, your proudest moments. Write it with as much clarity and detail as possible. Probably put in a picture too. This is what is going to act like your album or your memoir of saying 2024 was more than just doing the machinery things that you probably do every year long. Make sense? And use this for resourcing. If you've done RISE course, then you know what do I mean by it. So I've given you a few empty pages as well. You can choose to continue to keep them for resourcing. If otherwise, use it to make your own spreads that you think Krupalini kind of missed out in the early beginning pages. So I've given you a couple of good empty pages, and here comes the highlight of how we track throughout the year. So if you are one of those people who tracks things on a day-to-day basis, or you track things on a yearly basis based on months, I've given you spreads for both of them. This one is for you to track any given activity that you would consistently do for a period of time every single month. It could be your expenses, it could be you probably having certain targets in terms of the number of sunrises and sunsets that you want to watch in this year. It could be your social media numbers that you want to track. It could be anything in terms of your metrics that you want to track. Track it down in this space. I've given you ample amount of space, so use it as you fancy. And for those of you who like to do it on a day-to-day basis, this could be you want to track your mood, you want to track in terms of your periods, you want to track in terms of how the day really was. Anything that makes sense to you that you feel like, no, I want to track on every day basis for 365 days, I've given you space to do that as well. Okay. And with that, we come to the end of all the year beginning pages. Don't be in a rush to complete them. Do not think about it saying, oh, I have to do this every single day. Do it as you fancy, because this is all about celebrating you and being a part of your life. These are things that any life coach or a wellness coach would ask you, saying if you're trying to build on yourself, these are habits that you will probably build. And going forward, this is how every month begins. How beautiful is this? I hope you enjoy seeing each one of the monthly opening pages, because I could not think of anything much more better and grander than gateways and pathways. I hope every month becomes an opportunity for you to open up a new door to go a little more closer towards your dream becoming a reality. And here is your space for you to write your own doodle, for you to write your own words which will inspire you. It could be a note, it could be a doodle, it could be pictures, it could be stickers. Do it as you fancy. It's not me telling you what would fuel you for the month. I want you to create it for yourself. And now comes your planner page. This sheet, you can use it in two ways. I'll tell you a little secret. I use it not just as a planner. I kind of use this to highlight a particular day. After the day is completed, I write things that kind of helps me in terms of remembering how was that day particularly. So you can use it to highlight after the day is over, where it's not to be a planner, but otherwise, how most of the people in the community use this is if you want to remember certain things, saying, for me, I want to remember these things has to be closed on this particular day. Use this space to put that calendar up so you have space for you to think and reflect. And here comes the biggest change that we've done in the monthly pages, which is the priority hub. As much as we are in a rush to plan and say, oh, every month is coming in and we are reflecting and we are creating something new, I hope the space gives you that pause of saying, wait, hold on a minute, look at it, saying, how would you want to look at this month? Here are your prompts that I've put in. 5 good things that you really love about yourself. Priority for your month. What is it that you want to do in this month? An important reminder for this month saying, don't ever forget this. How do you want to date yourself this month? How would you probably want to plan a date with your loved ones? And from your list of all the things that you've been wanting to do, what's that skill that you're going to put in effort to learn this month? What's the book that you want to read, event that you want to attend, things that you want to try, and places that you want to be in? And before you leave this page, please make sure that you also create a good self-care plan for yourself. And here's a question that I want to gently nudge you in terms of your emotional wellness is, how can you be a little more resilient in this month? Think about it. While you finish the priority hub, the next thing to keep track of is everything that you put down for yourself on the level 10 goals at the beginning of the year. Usually what we tend to do is create that plans at the beginning of the year and we don't even go back to it. But hey, Tall Elephant is not that way. The Tall Elephant Journal gives you space for you to go back and figure out what is it that you want to create as shorter chunks or smaller chunks of your bigger pie that you had to probably bite by the end of the year. So for example, imagine with regard to health and fitness, you have chosen to lose a certain amount of weight. Here's your opportunity at the beginning of the month to choose saying what is the set of activities that you're going to pick up to make sure that that goal becomes a reality. It could be as simple as joining for a course, joining for a fitness club, or it could also be just about your diet. What makes sense to you, use that to put down here. And also, this is your progress bar to keep track at the end of the month for you to reflect and say what do you really want to build furthermore in the upcoming month. The next sheet is what is all about journaling, where I've given you ample amount of space for you to journal at the end of the day. Please do not make this all about the to-do list. This is your space to reflect on how did you experience the day to be. What really happened? How were you doing throughout the day? Write it like as if you were talking to your best friend. I've given you space for you to reflect for every day of the week, and at the end of the week, here's your gentle reminder of saying, how was the entire week for you? Maybe on a Sunday morning, sitting in your balcony, reflect on what did you feel like throughout the week. This is that space for you. This is how every weekly spread would look like, and at the end of the weekly spreads or at the end of the month, you get the space for doing a brain dump. And if you don't know how to do a brain dump, don't worry about it. I will talk to you during the master classes. This space is used for, let's say you've had an agitated day or you have a bad day. Use the space to pen down what really happened. Why were you feeling that way? And the more you let it out from your mind, your neurons will stop the chitter chatter and you'll feel a little more calmer once you're done with the activity. And then this is the most favorite of all of them that exist, which is your happiness jar. I hope this jar overfills for you every single day after you finish updating how the day went for you. The second activity that you do is coming back here and finding at least 1 or 2 reasons of happiness. What brought happiness to you today? there could never be a day that you did not find a ray of light. What was it that made you feel happy? Probably pen that down here. And this time on the emotions tracker, I've taken a new take where I've asked you about what emotions did you go through based on the Navarasas that we follow in India. So whatever emotion that you've gone through that day, whatever you've experienced that day, make sure that you mark it down here. It could be as simple as a few moments of joy, but there was also compassion, there was a little bit of disgust, maybe there was anger, but the day was not all that bad because you actually experienced a lot of these emotions. It's not about marking one emotion, mark the spectrum of emotions that you've gone through. And think about it, once you finish the entire month, when you come back and take a look at this is going to tell you about your emotional wellness. This is almost like your report card on that. And yeah, we are all too used to having a routine life. In between that routine and breaking the rhythm, here's my hope of asking you what was new today. I hope we don't become the AI machines, and here's you bringing back the humanness in life. Every single day, here's your opportunity to pen down what is it that you found newly on that particular day. It could be a stranger smiling at you, it could be probably a new bud that you saw forming in your garden, anything. What is it that you saw newly in life today? And then, this is your gratitude journal. You don't need to invest into a newer journal to track your gratitude lessons. So here is your space to write every single day, what are you grateful for? Every time you write this, I'm definitely sure a little bit of serotonin, a little bit of oxytocin, and maybe enough amount of dopamine is going to hit you to make you feel good. Make sure that you build this habit without fail, come what may. And then this space is your habit tracker. Habit trackers usually can be done in multiple ways. One of it is binary of saying yes I did it or no I did not do it, or it could also be in terms of numbers or percentages. Use it as you fancy. How do you actually create a habit tracker? What I've seen people tending to do is you create habit trackers based on anything that newly comes up. My suggestion would be create habit trackers based on your goals that you've created for the month, so that this helps you to figure out the steps that you're taking going forward. For example, if something needs to be done in terms of binary, like did you do your painting today, did you do your drawing today, those things you can just mark saying yes or no, yes or no. Did you wake up at 7 o'clock, yes or no? This could be anything to do with your numbers. Like for example, did you take your 4 liters of water? Maybe you want to say 2 liters that you took, write the numbers down here. You want to track your number of steps, start tracking it here. You can use this as your fitness tracker, as your habit tracker, however you fancy. Go ahead and use this spread. I hope it brings in that little bit of beauty and charm, as much as it looks like there is a strictness in it. But it is not about the strictness. This is your companion which is going to make you reach your goals. The next spread that we've given you is your meal tracker. A little change that we've done from the last year to this year, and I'm super happy that we did it, is this time we've given you goals that you want to maintain for your meals. It could be in terms of your calories. For those of you who want to track even the simplest thing of how many days are you eating at home, how many days that you're eating outside, you can also track that. And here is your space to add in the time that you had your meal, or this could be your calorie count, as you fancy. I've given you space for breakfast, lunch, snacks and dinner, and every single day I hope you start filling this up, because this is highly connected to how you feel emotionally. Like they say, your gut is very, very correlated to your emotions. So start tracking it down and see the charm and the happiness coming back into life. This is your legend, like you already know, saying if you want to track in terms of your, probably in terms of your non-veg meals, in terms of your veg meals, in terms of your calories, in terms of your fine dining, in terms of your junk food, create your own legend and go ahead and mark it in your meal tracker. And this is taken a new shape this year, which is your finance tracker. We worked with a lot of CAs and accountants to create the spread for you of asking how should you even track your finances every single month. So here is an opportunity for you to create your goal in terms of your categories. It could be either your income or your expenses. And then this is what you review at the end of the month, saying how much was the actual numbers that you hit and what is it that you want to tell yourself with regard to it. How do you track every single month? Is you're going to have your transactions put down here. I've given you ample space. Use it however you fancy. Make sure you create your own categories and have your income and your expenses tracked down. At the end of the month, put this together so you know where did you reach in terms of your financial goals. With that, we then move on to a blank spread. If you feel like, hey Krupalini, you seem to have missed out a spread for me, use this space to create your own spread or use it for brain dump like how we spoke about it earlier. And at the end of every month, don't be in a rush to complete the month and create newer goals. Here's your space for you to sit down with yourself, hopefully calling it as a date with yourself, probably in a cafe or in your balcony, and asking yourself, how did the month really go? What were the highlights of this month? What have you learned this month? How did you take care of yourself this month? How did kindness really show up for you this month? What are you grateful for? What is it that you want to reflect on in terms of what went well, what did not, and how are you really doing? Ask yourself that question. And what do you choose to carry forward from this month to the next month, and how can you be more prepared? Write all of these answers to yourself, and that's going to give you a cue of how the next month should unfold for you. And then this is how every monthly cover looks like. I'm going to quickly show you all the monthly covers, but I want you to deep dive and take a look at the inner pages yourself when you get your hands onto the journal. This is your February spread. Everything to do with spring, new leaves, newness which comes into life. So this is February, and March is the month of tulips. So there you go, you have all the tulip illustrations for March, and it continues to be a gateway. And April is the month of metamorphosis, and you cannot have anything better than butterflies to represent it. So April will be all about butterflies, bugs, and a lot of living creatures. And here is May. May is all about dryness, but in that dryness lies the succulence. So we've tried to give you an illustration of succulents, taking you into the fantastic gateways and beautiful pathways that you will walk through. And come June, the rainy season starts, and what do you see around? It's a lot of mushrooms. So it's a celebration of the world of fungi. And July is all about hydrangeas, and how could I not give you this, because these are my most favorite flowers. And August is a lot about blooms. It's all to do with plants, and it's all about the newness that comes in this particular part of the year. Celebrate all the little tiny beautiful springs that you would see in the middle of the year. September is an ode to the ocean world. It's an ode to all those places that we visit, all the beaches that we kind of relish sitting in our cityscapes. So September is celebrating the water world. And come October, this is your month of Halloween, and what else would better represent than having pumpkins all around the doors and also as a part of your illustrations throughout the month. This is the month of November, the month that things start withering away, the month that there's a lot of coldness around the world. But I hope even during these months you start seeing the beauty of that withering, of that space of things going away, and for the newness which will come in very, very soon. So the month of November is to do with all the dried ferns which add beauty to our lives. And when you think about December, it's the month of berries. It's the month of all the beautiful berries and the most yummiest of fruits that exist in this planet. This is the month celebrating all the berries that you probably will enjoy throughout your life. So December is a celebration of berries. And at the end of the year, we've tried to do something differently for you. You close the year with a note of gratitude for this particular year, while you say sayonara to 2024 and get ready for 2025. In the year-end sheets, we've given you space to continue to use space for brain dump. We've also given you a lot of space for you to continue writing your notes that we had earlier too in the TTE's journal. So here is your space for you to put down all your notes, and this time I've also given you prompts if you want to make this a thank you letter, a letter to tell somebody that you love them, a letter to congratulate. Use the space however you fancy. I've also given you empty spaces where you can go ahead and pull this out. And by the way, like you know, these are all perforated sheets, so you can tear them apart and use them whenever you want it. I've given you space for 3 different artworks that you can use. One which is a mandala, a little complex one, a simpler mandala, and my most favorite, a doodling space. Color your heart away and make your own artwork that you want to probably put up on your walls. And here is your QR code for you to scan. When you get access to the TTE's journal, make sure that you scan the QR code, where you will then get access to the masterclasses, to the community, and to a lot more fun things that we will do together in 2024. And inside this pocket, I've stacked it with a few beautiful sticker sheets that you can use as a part of your journal. Whatever you feel like, whatever the mood is, go ahead and use it. And I would love to see what did you use it for when you share it with the community. So these are the 8 different spreads that I've given you as a part of the journal itself, which lies inside the pocket. And with that, it's a wrap.